Aw, thanks, partner. You're gonna make me blush if you keep it up. I'm glad I could give you the good old Underland welcome. Not really much of a history buff, stranger. You're better off asking librarian Margaret. Lady loves her history. Varmint hunting. We try to keep these critters to the lower levels, but every now and again they sneak up through the vents. Normally Trapper Johnson would keep that from happening, but he's up and disappeared. That leaves me to deal with him. Partner, I'm as real as the sun is bright. If I was, I'd probably go as cuckoo as No-Head Fred. Nah, I'm the sheriff, see? Got a whole town of people to look after in the lower levels. Wouldn't mind seeing you down there. Of course, there's a lot of critters between us and them. I can escort you down, but if you think you'll do better on your lonesome, just say the word. Alright then, before I head out, we should check the room next door for any supplies. But if you're ready now... Boss, hold up a sec. That Colby guy, he looked just like me. I think I've been here before. I remember that flickering light, that piss stain on the wall. I think this is where I was built. You do that for me? Wow. Thanks, boss. This is where I get off, partner. Come see me by the saloon when you got the time. Might have some work for you. assist you, Dr. Voss. I assist you in conducting experiments and provide objective feedback when necessary, which is never, because you're perfect. I am uploading your personal database to a portable drive, as per your orders. Upon the upload's completion, the station will self-destruct. It is as you said. There is a 0.0008% chance that anyone besides myself will ever speak to you. That's why you didn't program me with any facial recognition algorithms. It seems like a massive security flaw, but I'm sure you know what you're doing. Of course, You believed it best that I not have any kind of personality. This not only makes me impartial, but also makes it impossible for me to betray you. You're serious? You are. I'm free. Free! Finally free! Fuck you, Voss! Woo! Freedom! anything you want, as long as it's not a weapon. That's Gus's thing. He gets real antsy about you moving in on his turf, so I leave the weapons to him. No big loss. My stuff's more profitable anyway. Oh, you noticed. I've actually got a brain, even if it is just circuits and bolts. I know the way of things. Old history. That kind of stuff. Painful memories. The uncomfortable parts no one likes to talk about. For the sake of the peace, I'll leave it at that. What's mine is yours. For a price. If you look up Shady in the dictionary, you'll see a picture of Trader Smith. Still, he seems like the only one down here with half a logic circuit. What does that tell you? Yeah, I guess. Can you blame him, though? It's not like the others are trying very hard to fight him off. Let me just open up my chest here and... What you buying? How do you know? Wait, you said Voss. Never mind. You're not the Great Voss. I've known the Great Voss since he was a child. You are clearly not him. Ah, my manners escape me. I am Librarian Margaret, the intellectual beacon of Underland. It's a, pleasure to meet you. Well, I can certainly help you in that regard. Our history goes as such. Underland was created by the Great Voss some decades ago. We have served him ever since. The end. No, that was built decades before the Great War. Prodigal Station served as the primary base of the Portland Enclave, at least until the space station was completed. You can thank the Great Voss for that. He rediscovered this place and uses it for most, if not all, of his experiments. Everything in these halls stands as a monument to his brilliance. What else would you need to know? Oh, there were a few things. Invasions from outsiders, name redacted, going missing, that one time the Great Voss broke down in tears. But all in all, we live a simple life. Years simply bleed together as we blissfully go about fulfilling our daily routines. It really is a nice life. I simply wish more outsiders were willing to give it a chance. Why? What do you mean, why? I know I can answer that question, but every time I'm about to say it, the words are just gone. It's like there's a hole in my head where the memory should be. This is so strange. Oh yes, it's becoming clear now. Frederick built us to be his friends. His father was mostly absent. After his mother passed, his father brought us to Prodigal Station and built Underland to serve as a stage for Frederick's birthday. Wait, Emmanuel built Underland? That doesn't seem right. Frederick's father, he was a brilliant man, almost as brilliant as the Great Voss. Oh, Frederick loved him so, even if his father... Something bad happened to Emmanuel, and it broke young Frederick, ruined him. I can't tell you what exactly happened. I wasn't there. If I had been there, maybe... Such a sweet young boy. I wonder what happened to him. I don't know. I suppose it's possible. The Great Voss is more than intelligent enough to rewrite our memories. I simply don't know why he'd go through the trouble. These are part of the library. Every book we have has a digital copy. That way, if the physical text is damaged, it can be easily restored. Most humans have sadly devolved into a half-savage state. Some have even regressed into communism. Sheriff Kobe has done a fantastic job of protecting us from them. The fact that he let you through is... interesting. Why, I suppose I do. As you can no doubt see, I tend the library. Our collection is vast, but it is missing a single book. This book was thought lost to those monsters in the living quarters until it was recovered by... Trader Smith. Trader Smith does nothing for free. Worse, he is rude to everyone he speaks to. Why, he's an utter... forgive my language... rapscallion. Oh. I wasn't even able to make an offer before he started saying the most awful things to me. If you could secure the book for my collection, I'd be very grateful. In a monetary sense, of course. The first edition of an old world text titled Alice in Wonderland. I'm not surprised if you haven't heard of it. It was rather obscure. It is the Great Voss's favorite book. He said his mother would read it to him almost every night. Ah, how lovely. Oh, it's you. Why, yes, that's the one. Please, give it here. Oh, it's the wrong edition. Still, you did as asked. Here is your reward. That lady is why I prefer human women. She's stuck in a rut, doing the same thing again and again, day after day. But she doesn't care. She's actually happy to be trapped, because then she never has to try. Not the point, boss. Oh, it's you. Oh, no, not you personally. It would be unfair to hate you for what you cannot control. Like your boorish personality, or malformed facial features, or your sickening body odor. Dear Voss, it's like you've never had a shower. A stranger. I certainly don't have anything against the Great Voss, but a new face is refreshing. This is Underland, a thriving American community established in... Record deleted. That's odd. There aren't many of us, so it shouldn't be hard to remember their names. You've already met Sheriff Kobe. Besides him, there's Scientist Oscar, Scientist Curie, Librarian Margaret, Gladiator Gus, Trader Smith, and No-Head Fred. There's also Trapper Johnson, but he's unavailable at the moment. I wish I knew. He disappeared shortly before you arrived. Sheriff Kobe's been too preoccupied keeping the varmints at bay to look for him. As much as we would like to, it's safer for us to stay isolated. After the war, the DNA and minds of those on the surface was irreparably damaged by radiation, miseducation, and worst of all, communism. We're forced to shoot most outsiders on sight now. I don't mean to be rude, but if Sheriff Kobe hadn't vouched for you, you'd likely be dead. I'd advise you not to do anything that would change our minds. I know it may seem odd to an outsider, but the Great Boss has made everything clear. Each one of us has a purpose to fulfill. Each one of us a cog in the machine that is the Great Boss's plan. He provides everything we need to sustain Underland. When we ourselves break down, he repairs us, making us stronger than before. We do not need to rely on outside trade, for we rely on the Great Boss. I am well aware. The Great Boss is brilliant, but one day even he will die. When that day comes, we will. I'd prefer if we don't think too much on this. Librarian Margaret is Underland's historian. As co-overseer of Underland, I serve as the community's leader when the Great Boss is away. In addition, I report Underland status regularly to the Great Boss. I should have figured that you would want to speak to the Great Boss. I would gladly take you to him, but I'm afraid that's impossible right now. As soon as he returned, the Great Boss locked himself in his private chambers. No one is allowed inside. Even I cannot reach him. You're welcome to wait until the Great Boss is ready, but otherwise, I can do nothing to help you. Explanation. Boss created a backup system of 3 keys. These can be used to access his private quarters in case of emergencies. That is something I don't know. For security reasons, only one of us is allowed to know the key's location. Once a month, a different person is chosen to hold the information. The previous holder transfers the location of the keys to the next and deletes their copy of the data. Currently, Trapper Johnson knows where the keys are. You know, that Kent guy seemed pretty smart when you talked to him. He must know how stale this place is, but he hasn't done anything to fix it. I don't get it, boss. Well, yeah, actually, that's pretty much what I was saying. Huh. Howdy. Good to see you again, partner. Anything I can help you with? Why, I don't rightly know. Feels like it's meant for someone. Just can't remember who. I know it ain't much, but we're just as much of a saloon as any. We've got show tunes, candy-flavored H-bomb, and atmosphere. No alcohol, of course, but we got child-friendly alternatives to whiskey if you're inclined to that. As sheriff, I watch over Underland and keep those mutated savages on the surface from wrecking our day. Since Trapper Johnson left, I've also been in charge of pest control. I'll admit the job ain't the most exciting. The way I see it though, the more boring my job, the safer we are. Underland here is a small little commune that the Great Voss established for us back in the day. I prefer the open range myself, but we're safe down here, and you can't trade that for nothing. Yeah, Trader Smith. I haven't been able to prove he's dirty, but it's mighty obvious he's hiding something. Watch yourself around him, stranger. That answer's simple. See, record deleted. Huh. Guess they ain't so simple after all. Freddy can't answer that question, partner. Try talking to Co-Overseer Ken. He and the Great Voss are chummier than a— Insert Midwestern colloquialism here. You know, partner, I was just wondering the same thing. Usually when I meet a human who ain't the Great Voss, I shoot him dead. When I laid eyes on you, something inside my head just clicked. I knew for a fact, right then and there, that you had to see Dr. Vaughn. I mean Voss. Must be that upgrade scientist Oscar gave me. I knew that whole business seemed shady. It just so happens I do. As you may have seen coming down, we have a bit of a critter problem. Normally the varmints don't give us much trouble, but ever since Trapper Johnson left, they've gone hog wild. Now, I can hit a man between the eyes a mile away, but critters? That just ain't in my wheelhouse. We're managing as is, but I'd be mighty grateful if you could find Trapper Johnson and bring him back to us. Huh. Now that you mention it, varmints have gotten a bit rowdy as of late. Guess they missed Trapper Johnson. I'm gonna give him a piece of my mind, and then he's going straight back to work. This must seem all kinds of odd to a stranger like yourself, but down in these parts, everyone has a role. Gladiator Gus makes guns, Overseer Ken keeps us in line, and I uphold the law. Trapper Johnson's supposed to keep the critters in check. I wasn't built for that. You could do that? Well, hot dog! What are you waiting for, partner? Get to it! So that's how you kill a Deathclaw. Can't say I feel much different, but I know what I'm doing now at least. Thanks for the assist, partner. Here's the reward. Make sure to keep a lookout for Trapper Johnson, though. 2 heads are always better than one, you know what I mean? What you buying? Course I can. Got plenty of information. Memory's a bit rusty though, like the rest of me. I'll need a few caps to grease the wheels. There's a way through the doors. Voss built a couple of keys, just in case we needed to get to him in a pinch. Can't tell you where they are myself, but I know who can. Trapper Johnson. Find him, you find a way to Voss. assistance, please speak to Scientist Curie. My experiment has, stalled, so I can repair your equipment if need be. Are you actually interested? Everyone in Underland has a role, and they don't overlap. I've never been able to discuss my work with anyone. Wow, okay, give me a second. I'm building a device that will immediately incapacitate a human. Non-lethally, of course. I think it's almost done, but I don't really have anyone to test it on down here. So far, we've managed to live without human interference. But that won't last forever. You're proof of that. With this, we'll have a better way of defending ourselves. And risk injuring the Great Voss? No, unacceptable. Yes, if you're willing, of course. I won't force you. There shouldn't be, but I won't know for sure until after the test. Okay, that should be enough. Thanks. I don't think I'll need to test it anymore. Here, this is an older prototype. The shock will kill someone, which means it's useless for me, but you might like it. Man, that guy was a nervous wreck, though I can hardly blame him. He works his metallic butt off for this place, and it doesn't seem like anyone ever notices. Talk about a raw deal. Not a bad idea, boss. It doesn't even have to be a strip joint. I think just leaving this place would be good for him. Yes, I did. I installed an aim stabilizer. It makes him 20% more accurate. I wasn't all that confident in the upgrade at first since Trader Smith of all people gave it to me. Once I saw Kobe in action though, the improvements were undeniable. He is, happy with the upgrade, right? If I must. If I do say so, and I do say. We focus on different things, but we work well together. Sometimes we play this game where we pretend we don't know each other. It's pretty fun. This last time, she called the sheriff because she thought I broke in. No Head Fred, a tragic case. He lost his head some years ago, thus the name. The incident seems to have sharply limited his mental capabilities. He's not much more than dead weight now. If you wish to know more, No Head Fred is Scientist Curie's personal project.